So we've covered high end, perfect focus, heartbreaker and strikers. Let's get to the big boys. SMG, best in slot. So, like I said at the intro, we've previously covered high-end 3-piece Sokolov, high-end Grupo, strikers, 0, half and full stacks, perfect focus, heartbreaker, 0, half and full stacks. So far, strikers is in the lead, and spoiler alert, strikers with full red does stay in the lead. However, strikers, especially with SMG, lacks a lot of quality of life. The idea behind this isn't just unga bunga, let's do maximum damage, because you can't do maximum damage all of the time, simply due to the fact in which this game works. This is why a lot of people tend to rely on armor cores. The idea behind these videos is to show you potentially that there is a better way with different playstyles. And the best in slot set, period, for SMGs, even though it is slightly less in DPS, still remains Hunter's Fury, which we're going to be going over in this video. The reason Hunter's Fury remains best in slot is just the simple fact of 1, 20% armor on kill, 2, inbuilt CC for close play, run and gun. And speaking of which, let's kick this off with what is pretty much the ultimate run and gun setup. So if we're talking run and gun and SMGs, obviously Lady Death, 4-piece Hunter's Fury, Cheska with Intimidate and Memento. We're rocking 59% critical hit chance, 134% critical hit damage, and the level of multipliers we have on this is just ridiculous. We've got 53.13 coming in at max from Hunter's Fury, 40.71 from Intimidate, and another 40% from Lady Death. Due to the fact that these are multipliers, that gives us a total of 201.69% increase in damage. So, chef's kiss. Just to refresh our memories, this is the 3-piece Sokolov build that we're comparing everything to, coming in at a hefty 11.7 million on head and 9.1 on the body. But how does our Lady Death build compare? On the head, we're doing 20.04% more damage, but on the body, we're doing 9.96. Although this is not as impressive as it first seems, we do get some added survivability with 4-piece Hunter's Fury. Obviously, we're running Memento, so we get some passive armor regen. And while at max stacks, it really does bolster our non-crits as well. We're also not reliant on the RNG of Killer, but we are now relying on the more stringent and hefty run and gun playstyle that is Lady Death. However, let's actually look at what is typically classed as the top end SMG build. So with this, we are rocking 59 crit chance, 171 critical hit damage, plus another 25 from Coyotes, plus another 50 from Perfect Killer. We've also got 53.15% amplified. Yeah, this thing is a monster. 4-piece Hunter's Fury, Grupo chest with Obliterate, Cheska backpack with Unstoppable Force. This allows us to have maximum uptime on our total weapon damage buff while taking damage, because we will be, and we're simply relying on Hunter's Fury to keep us alive. Now I am running a rendition of that build here. I'm running Dark Winter, Grupo with Obliterate, 4-piece Hunter's Fury, a Cheska backpack. However, I'm running Perfect Clutch with mine. So yeah, you're going to be doing 25% more damage than what I'm doing. And in terms of survivability, as long as you don't do what I do, which is just basically run straight into the enemies to see how much I can actually take before I die, yeah, you'll do absolutely fine. Now the beauty of this build is there's a lot you can do to mix it up. You can run Gunner to get yourself another 10% armor on kill, pushing you to 30. You could also potentially run Preservation, which is going to give you 40 or 50% armor on kill respectively. You could run Clutch like I am to give you a little bit more sustainable damage while actually out in the open as long as you're within close range. You could run glass cannon in case you're that much of a nutter. Don't recommend it. In terms of specialization, firewall would be your maximum DPS because of the shield. I've covered this in another video. Gunner is a good option. Survivalist as well, due to the amplified damage to enemies that are under a status effect. You're running Hunter's Fury. Technician, run the link laser pointer, get flatline if you don't want to rely on the killer proccing or not proccing, as it's less RNG. In short, realistically, Hunter's Fury SMG builds are very, very versatile. I would argue as long as you have an SMG and 4-piece Hunter's Fury, you can't really go wrong. I say that, but they recently brought out that Ninja Bite backpack, which is going to cause a few issues. The reason you don't want to run Ninja Bite backpack with this build is SMGs are typically short on upfront damage. Ninja Bite will completely nerf that, meaning you've got to rely on your back end damage, such as amplifiers and other buffs. If you use Ninja Bite backpack, you're not getting that back end damage, and then you're stuck with your terrible front end. Right, so DPS, obviously Hunter's Fury is going to be coming in pretty damn high. It's 27 to 24% higher than our 3-piece Sokolov build. Just to give a complete overview so you can see them all in one go. Now, to make this a bit easier, I'm just going to read them down the list as an average DPS. So where you can see head is 11.7 and body is 9.1 for the first one. Their average is 10.4. So high-end 3-piece Sokolov is 10.4 million DPS. High-end 2-piece Sokolov with Grupo is 10.5. Hunter's Fury is 13.1 million DPS. Lady Death with Hunter's Fury is 12 million DPS. Strikers with no stacks is 8. Strikers at half stacks is 12.1. Strikers at full stack is 16.1. Focus is 10.6 million DPS. Heartbreaker with no stacks is 6.6. Heartbreaker at half stacks is 9.9. And Strikers at full stacks is 13.3. So now I'm just going to give some closing thoughts on this. So here's the DPS along with the builds. Those that are green are at like max potential. If they're red, that means they still have stacks to gain kind of thing. So Strikers and Heartbreaker at 50% and 0 stacks are going to be red. Everything else is green, in short. They are also in DPS order. Strikers at the top with 16.1, Heartbreaker with no stacks at 6.6 at the bottom. Now the one thing I do want to point out, because it's Strikers full, Heartbreaker full, and then just a Hunter's Fury build, followed closely by Strikers at half stacks. However, the time it was going to take you to get Heartbreaker and Strikers to full, Hunter's Fury will be there already, along with the fact that although you are missing some DPS, in the case of Heartbreaker, you're only missing 200k. In the case of Strikers, you're missing, okay, yeah, granted, 3 mil in DPS, but the difference in 13 and 16 mil in DPS, most players won't even register or recognize on solo scaling. And then just adding in the simple fact that even a multiplayer scaling, you will still be able to kill things just fine. The main difference being is how long you yourself survive. If you take Strikers and start putting blue cores in, the further in down that list it becomes, whereas Hunter's Fury deals maximum damage with maximum potential very, very easily on an absolute 6 red build. You can do it on legendary. You don't need to put blue cores in, because 100% health on kill and 20% armor on kill, along with that CC that's built into the set, you simply do not need armor cores, which is why Hunter's Fury will be best in slot for pretty much every single SMG build going. This is not to detract from other builds at all. Striker SMG builds are good, they are a lot of fun. However, I always find myself going back to Hunter's Fury because that inbuilt CC and armor on kill is an absolute godsend in terms of quality of life. Anyway, that is going to do it for this video. Have fun, good luck, don't die. It's bad for the health.